Hi, welcome back to Tiny Classrooms Live.
Hi, the Dr. John Zalou in New Mexico.
And I'm Artie Nathan, the HR guy in the Adirondack Mountains. And our topic today, leadership in good times and bad, always require good communications.
Oh, communication subject coming up again.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking about all this crisis stuff for the last several months now. And it dawned on you and me yesterday when we were talking that good leaders are good leaders. And just because there's a crisis now, there'll be good times again tomorrow. And so we're going to pivot a little bit and start talking about the elements of good, effective leadership.
Good, and we kind of introduced that in our last episode. A deep dive into leadership. Communication, you and I've talked about, is really central to any degree of effective communication and effective management. The skill, the ability to create the response in others that you intend.
One of my bosses said to me many years ago that the difference between a good manager and a great manager is his or her ability to communicate effectively. And I took that to heart, and I believe it, because organizations need good communication.
Absolutely, and it's borne out by all the number of organizational climate and culture surveys that we've conducted over years. The one section on communication always comes out wounded. They never tell me what's going on. Nobody tells me in advance of a change. I don't know who I can talk to. They don't listen. Stuff like that comes out, and that's a reflection of senior level management and how they've affected the managers below them.
And in these days of transparency, of employee engagement, I think employees expect more communication. They like more direction. They want to know where they're going or where things are going. And when you provide that to them, it helps them to be better, and it helps them to all be going in the right direction.
It's reflected in all of the generations that are currently working right now. There's 4 or 5 generations in the work. The millennials and the Generation Z folks, they require and demand communication, and it's very difficult for senior managers, baby boomers, for example, like us, to sort of get it and learn how to communicate at that level.
You might think the times are changing, but they're not. Good communications were required a generation ago, just like they are today. And managers have to learn, with all the other skills we've talked about in this crisis series, managers have to learn that this is one of those key skills.
That's absolutely right. I can't take it for granted. And just because your lips are moving does not mean you're effectively communicating, right?
We've often talked about, if you want to know if you're a good communicator, ask somebody what they just heard. And you'll find out a lot, and we run these classes on communications, Don, and that's a key theory that we talk about.
It's very important, and because often managers discuss things with their team and ask if everyone gets it, does everybody understand? And a lot of times you'll see people all shake their head, I've got it. But man, if you put Wonder Woman's lasso around them down the hallway, they couldn't remember what the hell they were talking about.
So it's a good practice after you've communicated to go around and ask people, what do they think, or what did they hear, or what do they know? And do a recap for them. And it's in writing, you think about what you're going to write, you write it, and then you tell what you just wrote. And it's not a bad idea in communications to do this recap. Did you hear? Do you know? Do you have any questions? And let's make sure that we're all very clear about what's been communicated.
That's absolutely right. And so hopefully we've been very clear today in this episode. And we're as we begin to talk about a deeper dive into management leadership, we're going to be pulling issues out of our coming book, the field guide for managers and supervisors, and a variety of other our courses and so on and so forth. So thank you for being here. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.